Today, Attorney General William Barr's Department of Justice filed in court to take over the defense of Donald Trump in a defamation suit brought by a woman who said that he raped her about 25 years ago. You might remember this cover story in New York Magazine last year. Advice columnist E. Jean Carroll wrote in graphic detail about how Donald Trump allegedly raped her in a fitting room in the Bergdorf Goodman department store in New York City. She also described the assault to my colleague, Lawrence O'Donnell, in The Last Word, and I have to warn you, her account is disturbing.
It hurt, and it was against my will, and I don't know where I got the strength, because he was big, but I think I was stomping my foot. I have my handbag in this arm. I never put it down. I'm holding it. I have no idea. The only reason I know I'm holding it is because when I got out in the street, I still had it in my hand. So somehow I got my knee up and pushed him back. And the minute he backed up, I was out the door.
Two women later came forward on the record to say that Carroll told them about this incident at the time, two friends of Carroll's. Trump, for his part, claims he never met E. Jean Carroll. He said that she is a liar. And he told reporters he would not have assaulted her because, quote, she's not my type. Carroll, in turn, sued the president for defamation since he called her a liar. And now the Department of Justice, the agency that's supposed to enforce the law and ensure public safety, is preparing to defend the president in his rape accuser's defamation suit. In a court filing, the department said that, quote, President Trump was acting within the scope of his office as President of the United States when he publicly denied as false the allegations made by plaintiff. Here with me now, someone who understands the Department of Justice from the inside out, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General of the Department of Justice, Harry Litman. Harry, what is going on here?
All right. It's sort of tough sledding legally, Chris, but what you say is exactly right. The Department of Justice says he was acting in his scope of employment, and that means this suit that's against him personally, it's really against the Department of Justice. We can take it over now. And guess what? The punchline is the United States gets to choose who can sue it and for what. And the law says it cannot be sued for defamation. So if they can prevail on this argument, the suit is over. On the other hand, this isn't one of those things that Bill Barr can just decide whatever he says, because the Supreme Court has held that the department's going to have to prove to the federal court. They've brought the case now from state court into federal court, but they're going to have to prove to the federal court that Trump was acting in the scope of employment. They cite some cases, but the cases are really not on point. They're cases in which federal employees were talking about federal matters, news, et cetera, not Trump talking about this personal accusation. And basically they're saying anything the president does, that's public business. But it's not. We know that already from Bill Clinton, among others.
Right. Okay, so they were. Yeah. I mean, my sense was that in state court they were losing. They were kind of back on their heels. They had a bunch of judgments against them that was sort of allowing the suit to go forward. And in fact, the lawyer for E. Jean Carroll today said basically this was a kind of Hail Mary. Oh, we're losing in state court. Let's pull this maneuver where we pull it over in the Department of Justice, and you can't sue the U.S. for defamation. Ergo, no lawsuit. That's the trick they're trying to pull here. But I guess the question is, like, has the DOJ ever done this before for a president? Is this how in the spectrum of normal to abnormal? Where is this?
Well, as always, where we already start with the abnormal just because of Trump's own conduct. There's only been a couple suits ever alleging this kind of civil harm by a president. It starts with Clinton v. Jones. What you say, though, is exactly right. They were at the point of disaster for Trump because there was going to be a deposition in state court, New York State Court, and that's complete bedlam and peril for him. Now, Bill Barr can, without any question, move it to federal court, but he can't keep it there. Here's the rub, though. Probably it takes a few months for it to work its way up for the courts, not just the district court, to say, this isn't Trump acting in scope of employment. This is Trump doing something personal, defaming a woman, saying she's not my type. That's not what the law, and it's New York state law, by the way. The law has to be, is this what he's employed to do? It's a little weird with the president, but no, he's not employed to call people liars and say she's not my type. This is not what the president does. as part of his duties.
Okay, so this is interesting. So you think on the merits he's got a tough case, but like everything that Trump does in the courts, as far as I can tell, everything is just kicking the can. And if you kick the can long enough, like, as John Maynard Keynes said, in the long run, we're all dead.
We're all dead,
if you could just keep things, if you could go to live another day, get through the election, then get through next week and get through next month. And he did it with Mueller, and he's done it with a million different contractors he's stiffed. Like, who knows? Maybe you just could wriggle out of it. So you're saying this is essentially a delay tactic.
Yeah. So basically, what's going to happen is it'll go to the district court, and Carroll will say he wasn't in his scope of employment, and I think the district court will rule for him. But then the next move of the Department of Justice, Court of Appeals, appeal to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Now, if Trump is reelected, it won't work. But if he's not, like so many other things, he has run out the clock. However, again, this is going to be in the hands not of a new Department of Justice, but of Carroll. He can run out the clock, but still, he'll have to face justice whether he's president or not, because that's what a private person, Carroll, is doing.
Yeah. Harry Litman, that was extremely edifying. Thank you so much for making the time.